Hello everyone, the microphone is working now. As always, I forgot to turn on my microphone. I should have a big button somewhere that just says unmute mic. But so, welcome to the live stream. This week happened on a Sunday rather than a Saturday or a Friday. It doesn't seem like I can get the right the right schedule for live streams, but I'm trying to fit them in whenever I can. So we are in my room today. This is where my computer is. This is where my computer is. This is where I do all of my editing and like 3D modeling. I've got my 3D printer right next to me. I'll show you soon on camera as well. This is going to be a bit of a different live stream today. Basically today what we're going to be doing is 3D modeling. I also realized that I can also live stream. Actually I can mirror my iPad onto my computer, which you can then again live stream as well. So maybe in the future we'll do some drawings as well, you know, like leather carvings, that sort of thing, something which we can do live stream on camera and then make a video or something and then sort of make the whole project start to finish on live stream, you know, like drawing, printing, etc, etc. So yeah, today we'll be doing some 3D modeling. I've got my coffee here. Still piping hot. I need coffee because last night I was up, I think, until 2 in the morning or like 1 o'clock in the morning because I was trying to figure this out. And whoever doesn't know what this is, this very crude contraption basically is an Arduino. Now this is a Chinese knockoff version. It's not the one by Adafruit, but since it is open source, obviously they can do it. This is the Arduino Nano. It's a tiny microcomputer or microprocessor, I don't know what exactly to call it. I'm not very versatile in these sorts of things, so I was sort of trying to learn as I go along. And basically, this is a NeoPixel ring. A NeoPixel ring is an array of LEDs. In this case, it has 12 LEDs. So basically, they all light up in different colors. Not really, but I'll explain. And what I've done is I've soldered some wires onto their terminals and hooked them up with alligator clips which are insulated by some electrical tape because I don't have the small pins, the feather pins, which go in the feather pins kind of thing. So yeah, that I've been working on that and I managed to successfully make it work. However, first thing that I noticed is that the blue LEDs don't work. So for some reason, it could be that this NeoPixel ring is faulty. I don't think this is by Adafruit. Again, so there's that. It could be that the NeoPixel ring is faulty. And then something happened and I think something shorted out and smoke started coming out at like 1:30 in the morning. So I started to panic. But then when I plugged it in again, red LEDs worked, which is basically what I need this for. And the green LEDs didn't work anymore. But just to show you what it's supposed to do, I've got a power bank here. I'm hoping I can hold it like this very gingerly so as not to cause any damage. I can't tell you what project this is going to be for, but I can show you, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, I don't know if it's visible on camera, but the LEDs are lighting up and they light up in a sort of, they flicker, they're randomly sort of lighting up and it makes like a flickering effect, which is going to be used in a future prop project. So yeah, that is actually going to be a collaboration or rather like a make-off challenge with Kit from, also known as Clever, from Skilltree, another great YouTube maker, so make sure to go and give him a follow and a subscribe if you don't already. Sorry, I'm just putting it to charge because I'll need that later. So yeah, shall we get started? Yeah, let's get started. So today I was hoping we could do a 3D modeled prop. Now recently I've been getting really into Warhammer. And basically, Warhammer 40k, which is the 40,000 40k Space Marines sort of lore, the Imperium of Man and all that sort of thing, is one of my favorite lore, to sort of, you know, fantasy, sci-fi lore. And I really want to make a prop from that genre. Thing is, in the past, I actually uploaded photos on Instagram of me holding a 3D printed bolt pistol, which is a huge chunky pistol, like, you know, with giant bullets, that sort of thing. But there was an issue because when I was gluing it together, I noticed that I didn't glue them properly together, right? The two halves, the different parts, and they came all angled and weird. So I said, you know what, I trashed it, which, thinking back, maybe I could have fixed it, maybe not, I don't know. I don't think I've kept it in the garage though. So there's that. So I want to make a Warhammer prop. However, I don't want to just make it, so I don't want to download the 3D model, print it, and make that. I want to actually 3D model my own version. Now, there are a lot of different weapons to do, and I'm not necessarily restricting myself to a bolt pistol. So I'm going to have a look at all the different weapons that are used in Warhammer 40k, specifically by Space Marines, which is the army that I prefer most. And basically we'll see if we can do anything from there. So I have, I got Google. So basically, usually that's not my search. Okay, so basically what I would do usually is go on, I would go on Google Images and I would search for the kind of weapon. So in this case, like Warhammer 40k Space Marine weapons. And it will give us a list, usually something like this. This is, I think, from like a wiki for Warhammer. We don't necessarily have to go there yet, but something like this is exactly what I'm looking for. Like, these are cool, right? I can see all the different weapons and guns that, you know, are sort of canon in the games and in the lore. So, yeah, flamers are cool, plasma pistols are cool, las pistols are cool. I think they're a little bit too organic to go for. So if I go power sword would be really cool to make. Like, this is something which I've always wanted to do, like a cosplay of Space Marines, like armor. It's huge though. I have no place to put it while I work on it. I'm also keeping an eye on the chat, so feel free to say hi, everyone. I'll be keeping an eye on it. Let's have a look. I think I'm going more for melee weapons rather than projectile weapons. I think it would be really cool if over there's my prop wall, right? I think I have the right place for something which is slightly longer over there. Let's see. So let's have a look. Melee weapons. Ooh, okay. I found something which I like. Yeah. The stave would be cool to make, but if I'm trying to keep it in that region, in that area, in that sort of dimension, I think the power stuff will be a little bit too grandiose and too big. It's not to say that I won't make it yet, but definitely not for this kind of project. I'm also, you know, might be a little bit too resource intensive to make something like that right now. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Good to have you here. So that, I believe, is the Thunder Hammer. Let's see. Okay. Thunder Hammer. Oh, is it Thunder Hammer? Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at it. Thunder Hammer. Yeah, see? Yeah, I think I have models in my collection which are Terminators, I believe, with this Thunder Hammer. It is quite big though. I mean, in comparison to the model, it is quite large. However, you can see something like this. See, it's not terribly huge. I think I can make that work. And if I take sort of this as the size proportion, I mean, I'm thinking maybe like a meter or less, something like that. So, oh, perfect. This is exactly what I need. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so when I find the image that I like, I usually would try to find like a profile image. Even this one is cool. Yeah. This is, I think, exactly directly from a model. I know, but I prefer this one. I think I prefer this one. There are so many cool models. Okay, this one has like a pipe over here. See, like there's, I don't know if it's visible, but am I covering it? No, I shouldn't, right? Kind of. Okay, let's move it somewhere over here. See, over here it has like this cable kind of thing. I wonder where that goes though. Over here we find like a different kind of model with cables sort of attached over here. That can be very easily made with like flexible tubing, which would be really cool. I think I do have something in the garage which may work. If not, like this flexible hose that you get like for showers or that sort of thing can work. So, okay, so from here it goes, okay, onto the gauntlets, onto the rest of the armor. Okay, so I will opt out of using this sort of cable here, because obviously I won't have the accompanying armor with the weapon. Let's go back to the original. This, I think this we can make it work. We can also have like the cable over here. I think we can make that work. We can give it our own spin. So let us open the image. We're going to save it to the desktop. Oh, actually save it in downloads. Okay. Alright, so once that is downloaded, we're going to hop into Fusion 360. Now, if the camera thingy gets in the way, let me know. I will move it slightly elsewhere. But what I have basically behind the camera is just the controls to move the camera around. You can't even see it right now. Let me give you an example. If I create a cylinder, something like this, for example, what I have hidden under my camera panel is just like the controls to turn it and to swivel it. That's all, basically. So that's, you're not really losing anything from there. Okay. Cool. So let us just remove the body, and I'm not going to really go into like a tutorial of Fusion 360, but I'll give you a basic rundown of what I'm doing. So to start off with, Fusion 360 is a piece of software, where basically you can model, you can sketch different models and you sort of extrude them and then have like a 3D model. Basically do 3D modeling on it. And this is a software I use for all my 3D modeling, for all my 3D modeling needs, all right, for 3D printing. And by the way, my 3D printer is over there, all right. I've done that part of this well, not Fusion 360, it was 123D design, but basically this is I still need to repair this. This is a Skyrim Warhammer that I made for my brother some time ago, but basically it fell off a wall and was destroyed. But these rings, these rings down here, I 3D modeled them myself, as well as the pommel down here, and I 3D modeled them in a software similar to Fusion 360 called 123D Design. Now 123D Design is not available anymore, unfortunately. It was a very simple 3D modeling software. Unfortunately, it is not available anymore. We have Fusion 360, which is a little bit more complex. It has been out of use, 123D Design, for a couple of years, I think 3 or 4 years. But I still miss it. Basically over here we're going to sketch and then make our design 3D. So we start off by inserting a canvas. Okay, what I'm doing to insert a canvas, basically I'm going to, let's do this. So let's get out of the way. I'm going to downloads, Thunder Weapon, and I'm going to paste it over here at a random scale. Okay, at a random scale. Now, one thing to have handy is a ruler, which I have over here, and this will sort of, I'm going to use the ruler to see how much, how big do I want the prop, and obviously the dimensions of my hand, because obviously if I want to have this prop, if I want to be able to carry it, I will have to have the right dimensions. So if I take my hand, which is about, let's say, comfortably 10 centimeters as a grip, okay, and if I go on a top-down view, okay, wait a minute, okay, I go on a top-down view over here, and I can quickly draw, actually I can get a box on this plane, and it's going to be 100 millimeter, no, sorry, 10 millimeters. Oh, no, so let's do it like that. 100 millimeters, okay, so that's 10 centimeters. You can also write 10 cm over here. And the fist will, okay, let's say I want to hold it in something in this position. Obviously, this will depend on the dimensions of the, say, broomstick or whatever. Actually, I can use the stave back here, which is about 2.5 centimeters. Yeah, about 2.5 centimeters. So I can do 2.5. No, sorry, 2.5 cm. I'm not quite sure. 100 millimeters and 25. Yeah, okay. So this box will represent my hand. Obviously, as you can see, the canvas itself is extremely tiny in comparison to the dimensions of my hand. So what I need to do is calibrate the canvas. Okay, now if this is 10 centimeters, right, from here to here, let's hide it for now, we won't actually use that. And let's say I want to have like I want to have this weapon like a meter long in total. I can right click on the canvas. Why is it not letting me? Should be able to right click. Oh, right, because I'm moving it. I should be able to right click on the canvas and calibrate. Okay, and basically select 2 points on the image. Let's select the very top. It doesn't need to be very precise, right? Move the canvas over and select this over here, and currently that is a total of 126 millimeters, which is 12 centimeters. It's tiny. We want it to be a meter, so we do 1 meter, and obviously it expanded it. So basically what we're doing now, whatever we sketch is going to be in exact dimensions in relation to a meter. Now, remember that box before? See, that is basically the thickness of like the area. So basically in terms of like where my hands would go, if I have one over here and one over there, I think that is plenty of space to hold the hammer. Okay, so like a small two-handed hammer. Okay, but as you can notice, perhaps it is a little bit too thick around the handle, the shaft there. So I will need to make some concessions. Now, luckily, I can calibrate this to 2.5 and see. I can calibrate the thickness to 2.5. Let me remove this. Let's recalibrate the canvas. So let's take over here, and let's say we want this to be 2.5 centimeters, right? Which is going to be the thickness of our dowel, whatever it is. Okay. And now let's see how long the whole prop is. Basically, we can calculate how long it is by creating a line from this end to this end, and it will tell us it's 655 millimeters, so that's 65 centimeters, a bit more than half a meter. Now this is 30 centimeters, so 20 more would be about double, roughly. Yeah, I think that's a decent prop to have like a cool one-handed hammer. I think I can work with something like that. Now obviously around the middle over here, remove the tool, around the middle over here, it's going to be a little bit thicker, but probably we're going to be wrapping that in leather. We're going to make a cool built-end leather. I can already picture it. Or we can go with different colors if we so wish, but probably we're going to go with like either a brownish leather here and a blue tint over here. I think this is either from a game involving Blood Ravens or something like that. So it's the color can be changed, of course, but the most metal parts will remain the same. And we will take some liberties with these. So obviously we have the proportions set correctly now. So what do we do next? So we basically need to start sketching and start 3D modeling. Okay. So before we start modeling, I would just like to stop and say hi to everyone on the chat, everyone on the live stream. Thank you for joining. We're going to be 3D modeling a prop today from the Warhammer universe. That will be doing the Thunder Hammer. In fact, I think it's best if perhaps I can update the stream name to the modeling Warhammer 40k Thunder Hammer. Save. Okay. Now basically changed the Yay! Apesauria Atelier. She's on chat. So I would like to take a second before we actually get started to welcome Apesauria. Basically, she's my very good friend Melissa, and we've been on adventures together 2 years ago at Twitcher School. And basically, she's a really cool person. She's just recently started a YouTube channel called Apesauria Atelier, and she's on the chat right now. So go and say hi, click and subscribe to her channel. She's a really nice person, and she'll be doing some sewing projects. I already have a collaboration lined up. Very project which I will probably make in the coming weeks is going straight to her all the way to her country. She lives in Mexico. It's like all the other way, the other side of the world, and just basically want to say hi. And she's a really good person, so don't forget to go subscribe to her. So before without any further ado, let's get to sketching. So okay, basically I'm going to be using a mixture of techniques, but I'm going to try and run you through it. I'm going to start with drawing some rectangles. Now I can see that over here there is a bevel, so obviously the hammer is going to be beveling inwards, but that is something that we can fix in a few steps later on, once we actually start extruding the model in 3D space. Now over here I'm going to be taking approximate dimensions. Like obviously I'm not going to be following the exact dimensions that I have on this, but I'm going to sort of try and make it look and make sense, you know. Okay, basically I am selecting the rectangle tool over there, selecting the plane I want to extrude and do this. Okay, so this is going to be the main head, the main like cheeks of the hammer. Now obviously this is going to be aligning with it, so I need to make sure that it is of about the same thickness. I think it is, let's see, it's going to be 75.2, so let's leave it to 75.12, sorry, 75.12. It's aligned. Now I can do this. Okay, then I can take a line tool by pressing L and extending it to wherever I want to. I can go back by deselecting the line tool, selecting the border between them and deleting it, and what it does, it gives me a whole face. Now I'm not going to actually be worrying about the recesses yet, because when I want to extrude, I want to do those recesses on the other side, on a 3D plane. Okay, so I want to engrave them in it, I want to sink them in. And even when I'm extruding, I'm going to extrude half the hammer and then I'm going to mirror it. So I'm going to effectively be cutting my work down in half, and both sides of the hammer will look exactly the same, so I won't have to worry on displaying one side more than the other. Furthermore, once I have the whole model, I'm going to cut it up into separate pieces, and basically that is just there to allow for ease of printing. And not everything, not all of it will be 3D printed. Like the shaft obviously won't be printed, but basically we're going to have the head, which is going to be 3D printed, this sort of greebly thing over here, perhaps this part over here. I think these rings I'm going to be 3D printing them and then coloring them in brass. But other than that, I think everything else is going to be like wood, but there isn't much else left, like the leather and wood. So that will be interesting. Now over here, I'm going to have cylinder. So I'm actually not going to do that right now. I will do that later. Or actually no, let's put a rectangle so at least we can keep in mind where it's supposed to go. Excuse me. So, okay. Let us start by doing the head. Okay. Very nice to have you here as well. Apis aurea atelier. So, the way to make everything in 3D is to extrude. Actually, before we do that, no, let's keep it. Let us just extrude. So we're going to press escape to and then finish sketch, and it's basically giving us under sketches. Let's rename this to hammer head. We can rotate it whichever way we want. I prefer working like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to select them by holding Control. Actually, we just need to select these two. Pressing Control because these are the two faces which are going to be exactly like in similar dimensions. And we're going to go to extrude by pressing E. Okay, if I press E or go to create, over here we've got the extrude or create and extrude. It's going to highlight them and give me the extrude options over here. Now, as you can see over here, if I move it around, you can see that I can extrude it however much I want. Now, this is going to be I think it's it's a longer piece, but it's a square face, so I have to make sure that however wide it is, it needs to be extruded up. However, if I take the dimensions, if I go in here and I can measure by pressing the inspect tool, select the two sides. What? No, not from there. I want to inspect this and this. Transmit is 75.12. Basically, I can click to copy. Now, when I go to extrude, press E. I can put my distance over here is going to be 75.12. However, that is the whole thickness of the hammerhead. I want it to be divided by half because I'm going to mirror it later on. So I am going to be working on half the hammerhead. And basically, if I do /2, meaning divided by 2, if any of you use Excel, it will give me a thickness of half my width. Okay? And this is what we'll be working on right now. Now, over here, I can see that we have the bevel going down. So let us press L to create another line and click on the surface, and we'll be creating a line over here. Now there are many ways we can do this, okay? So I just outlined this. I can split this part, and I think that is what I'm going to do. Because basically, first let's see how far we need to go in. So this is 15.65. Let's copy that, 15.65. The split is just there to show me how much distance I need to the edge. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a chamfering tool over here by clicking chamfer, clicking the edges I want to chamfer, which are these three, not the middle one because that is going to be a solid face. And I'm going to paste in my value, which is 15.65. And as you can see here, it does it automatically for me without any issue. I can take the sketch, I can delete it, it won't affect anything. And if we go back to the top, you'll see that this is about what we want. However, I seem to recall that these hammerheads were not exactly like they're not continuous in facets. I think there's a little bit of a dip. So what I think I'm going to do now is either extrude the faces a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to select all these faces. Okay. Okay, so I can't do all of them at once, but I'm going to do one at a time. So let's extrude them by 5 mil. Okay. Extrude by pressing E and 5 mil. And extrude 5 mil. Okay. obviously this is going to be an issue, so I'm going to fix that later. Maybe 5 mil was a little bit too much. If what we can do basically is go to modify, change parameters. Okay, it opens up this window. I'm going to create a new parameter. I'm going to call it hammer. Let's call it offset 1, for example. And the expression is going to be in millimeters. Okay, you can change it to any different kind of lengths, measurements, and let's say it is 10, for example. Okay. Now, if I go back down to my timeline down here, I can just go back, and you can see that the model is going back in time. Okay. Oh, come on. Model is going back. Model should be going back in time. Now I can do two things from here. I can right click and delete all features after history marker. Basically removes what I've done after it. Okay. Or using this, right, I can go back to this step, say this extrusion, modify it to take it back in time to how it was, modify it, say for example 2, and leave everything after it in relation to it. So if I use this face in another function in the future, it will take the 2 millimeters rather than the 5 which we're using before. But we're going to be doing neither of that. We're going to be going back. We're going to delete all features after the history marker. Okay, and we're going to highlight the same thing. Now remember that parameter thing we did. If I extrude instead of giving it a value, I can extrude to give it an offset parameter, right? It's going to offset it by 10 millimeters. Now, bear with me for a second. I'll take this, extrude by offset, and okay, take these and extrude by offset. Now, you're going to tell me that this is worse than before. Okay, this is huge. Of course it's huge. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. This is just way too huge. Not say we would like to. Okay. For some reason I cannot. What have I done? I can't move the. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I've pressed something basically which. Okay, there we go. We can move slightly now. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so let us go back. The parameters, I'm going to change that 10 to 2. Okay, to a 2 millimeters. Hello, Jason. Jay's Comics. Hello, nice to see you here, mate. So we're going to change it to 2 millimeters. We're going to press OK, and as you can see over here, it changed all our values to 2. So that gives us the option to, I don't know why this is so slow. Wait, what did I press? Okay, there we go. So double middle mouse button. Okay, double middle mouse button takes you to apparently resets your view. So basically what the offset parameter, did over here is sound is very quiet, is it? Okay, let's go. What's this? What's this? Is the sound lower than usual? Let's have a look quickly. Let's go with the sounds. How's this? Is this better? I'm hoping this is better. Okay, well apparently maybe some people. Okay, perfect. Sounds better now. No idea what I did there. So basically what I was going to say is that this parameter thing, if I change it here, it's going to change all the functions based on it. Okay, all the features that I did. So if anyone is joining us right now, we are in the process of making a Warhammer Thunder hammer, in fact, from the Warhammer 40k universe. And what I'm going to be doing here now is I'm going to fix this. You can see we've got some edges over here. So I think if I pull this with a Q, yeah, if I pull this the distance of the offset, I think, no, we need to pull it, well, it doesn't need to be a perfect point, that's fine. Okay, if we zoom in, see it's got a bit of it, that's fine, it's 0.5 of a millimeter, it won't show up on the print. Over here, what we're going to do is we're going to take the face, we're going to put a line on it, and the line is going to be from this point all the way to here, to this edge, okay? We're going to finish sketch, and then we're going to do another thing, which is going to be body. I'm going to select the body, splitting tool, and the splitting tool is going to be that line. What it's going to do is, it's cut it into two. See, we've got the hammerhead over here, and we've got the small piece over here. Remove the small piece. I have a clean hammer, clean butt of a hammer over there. Now we're going to be doing the recesses. Now obviously here is not going to be equal over here. It looks like it is slightly thinner and slimmer on the top. I'm not sure whether I like that. I think I like the fact that it would be uniform. It could be forced perspective or something like that. Okay. By the way, brief introduction to Jay's Comics. If you're on Facebook, hop over to the group called Jay's Comics. He posts all sorts of news and comic related stuff. It's really awesome, and if you're into superheroes and that sort of thing, go over there and give him a check. He also does regular giveaways, so pretty cool there. Also, Jason's another good friend of mine, and Melissa. So okay, I'm going to be using the line tool. Now I'm going to be eyeballing it, right? So if this is, okay, so let's say this is 8. Why don't you just do it at a centimeter, right? So let's take the line over here. Okay, let's start somewhere over here. And we're going to do 10 millimeter, okay? So that's 1 centimeter in. Going to take this, that's 73. Oh, wait, I forgot to do something else, because I also need to have this in 10 centimeters, because that is going to be the corner where I start off from, okay? This is the point where I start off from. So I'm going to take this, go down to here, it gives me the 69.012 value, which I'm going to do minus 10, okay? So it's going to take it directly over there. So yeah, we're going to be eyeballing this as well, minus 10 millimeters. What I'm doing is I'm taking the whole length of it and deducting 10 mil from it. Over here, I think I want to see where the 10 mil ends. I think what I'm going to do is let me take another 10 mil. Actually, I do have the 10 mil sorted here. I can probably, yeah, that's 10 mil, and 10 mil is going to be somewhere over here. Okay. Oh crap. Let's do that again. We'll start from here. Go to here. 78.913 minus 10 mil. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, that looks about right. Now we're going to just join these two lines over here. Now this looks extremely complicated. It really isn't. We're going to be taking this face, okay? Now we're going to extrude again, but instead of extruding outwards, this time we're going to be extruding inwards, okay? With a negative value. I don't want this to be too deep, so let's say 5 mil, okay? 5 mil should be enough. Now all these sharp edges, I don't particularly like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be chamfering them, which means rounding them over. I'm going to select the fillet, sorry, I'm going to be filleting them, which is rounding them over. So using the fillet tool to select all the corners, which I want, and I'm going to give them let's start with a 5mm chamfer. 5mm seems to be a little bit excessive. Let's do a 2mm chamfer. Ah, that's too kind, Jason. Thank you very much for sharing the live stream. Okay, let's do a 2mm chamfer over there. We're doing a 2mm chamfer. Now, I don't like the fact that this is so far recessed, and I think 2mm is... I'm trying to think about the actual detail that we're going to be putting in there. No, so let's take this and extrude it up by 3mm. It's going to bring it up nicely to the chamfer, right? Okay, I'll leave it where it is. Actually, I think that works fine. We can also turn off this so we can have a look at it. Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like it the way it is over there. Okay, so that stays there. Perfect. Good. If you're just joining us and the live stream, welcome. Today we are 3D modeling the Thunderhammer from Warhammer 40k universe, and I'm also having a cup of coffee. So, let's carry on. If you have requests on what you would like to see made during one of the videos, which are starting back soon again, and or the live streams, please let me know, and I will see what I can do. Now, that's looking good. This thunder icon is really cool. It's good thing that it is quite linear and geometric, not organic. We're just going to be tracing this roughly over here. Does not need to be perfect at all. Okay. Now this needs to be proud. It needs to be outwards. We're not going to be doing. We're not going to be really taking it out by a lot. Let's say 2mm. Okay. We can see if we turn off the canvas so we can see it a little bit clearer. You can see that this is elevated by a little bit. I'm not going to be doing anything further to it because if I try to fill it, I think it will be a little bit much. And I don't think a 1mm fillet will actually really show on the... Meh. It's not bad. I don't think it will show on the 3D printer. And what I'm risking is that this point over here does not get 3D printed. So I'm not going to fillet it. Besides, I think the rough edges over here will be very thematic of the 40k universe. So, okay. Good, let us carry on. Go back to the top view. Okay. We'll be working on these pieces very soon. So, now, over here. The way to do this central piece, which is going to be cylindrical, I think, is to do it by looking at this area over here. Now we can take the approximate. First of all, we need to find like where the shaft is going to go, really. So basically, we're going to be creating a sketch on this face, on these faces, either one of them, doesn't really matter. And we're going to be doing by a circle by creating a center diameter circle or pressing C. Now we know that the diameter of our broomstick, wooden shaft, whatever it is going to be 25mm. Okay, so that definitely has to clear it. So if I wanted to, I could just take this and extrude it all the way down to 65 centimeters. That is going to be our central sort of shaft. Okay, that is our let's pretend that is our broomstick. Roughly, doesn't need to be perfect. We're not going to be 3D printing it, but we're going to base our measurements around it. So I think we can first of all yeah, we're going to be trying to think of the best way to do it. We're going to be creating another sketch on this face, right? It's going to be another circle. The circle is going to be larger this time. Now, to see how large it needs to be, it can't be much larger than that. Now, if you do it at 3 mil, we're going to be needing some clearance, of course. So what we'll be doing is a sleeve which goes into the shaft. I think we may have to sand the wood a little bit, but we'll figure that out later on. So let's do it at 30 mil. Okay. Now we are going to be extruding. I'm going to be extruding it backwards. I can use this arrow to sort of take me back and forth. I'm going to be extruding it till here, which is about 85 centimeters or 80 centimeters. I think I'd like it to be extruded as far as these, which are basically, I'm clicking this. If I want to extrude it till this surface, I can basically click that. Okay. Else what I could do is extrude it till here, which is going to be like where this doodad ends, somewhere over here. Looks about right. And then I'm going to split it. Okay. I'm going to be splitting it. Okay. Now I'm going to be splitting it right now. Okay, so to explain what I did, I'm just creating a sketch. Okay. I clicked on this plane, so it creates a sketch on this plane, which happens to be running down the middle. See the red part? That is the plane which I am sketching on right now. And I'm going to be drawing lines by pressing L, where I want the cuts to be. So actually, let's say one somewhere over here. It doesn't need to be of any particular length. So that's one cut. I'm going to do another cut. Actually past the taper, so past this bit over here. Okay. Probably I want this to be a little thicker, so I'm going to select the surface of the shaft, which we said it's a 30 mil, right? Actually, what I can do is probably go back on. No, this is the sketch. This is a sketch, finished sketch. Double click on this sketch, go on this circle. It's not letting me change the diameter. Fine, don't worry. It's fine. Let's stop the sketch. I'm going to select the surface. Okay. I'm going to modify, press pull Q. Okay. I'm going to increase another 3 mil. Okay, so now it's a 33 mil thickness. It's not really huge there, right? So that's fine. Also, let's name them. So this is the cheeks, this is the back, and this is the shaft. Okay, now this is the shaft. Okay, so we need to make this hollow. We'll do that in a second. First, let us split everything. Okay. We're going to be splitting everything by clicking the body. Okay, over here from the bodies. I'm going to modify, select split body. I'm going to select the splitting tool, which is going to be these two lines, and these two lines, if you can see it, it's going to split this model into those pieces using these two red lines, these two red planes as a tool. Okay, so it's going to do its own thing, and it split them up. Perfect. Before moving any further, however, I want to select, I'm going to make the sketch visible, sketch 8, basically is this part. I'm going to select the inner circle and extrude back, right, all the way. What that did is it hollowed out in the tube for me, see? By reverse extruding. Going back to the top, I would like to remove this centerpiece. If I hover over it, you can see on the side it is shaft number 2. So if I click over there, right click and remove. Do not delete because it sort of messes with the model when it does delete. So just remove over there. Perfect. Maybe increase like another 2 mil to it. Let's add another 2 mil. And now we're going to be chamfering back to this line over here, right? There's a bit of a taper over here. So we go back to chamfer. That looks perfect. 5 mil chamfer is perfect. Okay. Now, this needs a cap on top, which you can see is slightly smaller than the rest. So I think what I'm going to do is how much of a, if we draw a line from here to here, let's say 25 centimeters. Perfect. So this sketch we can delete. If we go on this face and we press C, okay, C is basically trying to draw a circle. So when I click on the face, it automatically creates a new sketch 12 over here. See, I'm going to go here, I'm going to click on the center, which is the exact center of this thing, which I've done, the cylinder. I'm going to do 25 mil, okay. Okay, so 25 mil, I forgot, this is the exact size of the shaft, which is fine. It's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to extrude it to here, say 1 mil, 10 mil, which is 1 centimeter. Okay, but we're also going to be extruding 2 sides, so we're going to be extruding inwards, and what that does, it's going to plug it up so we can actually print it nicely. We're going to be doing 10. We can also do the symmetric. Okay, so if we increase one, the other one increases. Like, okay, we're going to be doing a plug of 10 centimeters, which goes out. Then we're going to take this. We're going to chamfer it by 10 centimeters. Oh, 10. Okay, so that 10 maybe was a little bit too much. Perhaps we don't want this to be an equidistant. Perhaps we don't want this to be an equidistant thing. So basically, see, if I instead of doing an equal distance chamfer, I can select a 2 distance chamfer, and what this does, it allows me to alter. See, I can make it as big or as small as I want. See over here. So this, I want this to be, I kind of like that it has a little bit of a tip to it. Yeah, let's do that. And then we're going to be doing this to a 4. See, and that looks pretty cool. Perfect. This is shaping up to be really nice. I have no idea how I'm going to make the skull. If I'm going to make the skull, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing here yet. But we'll figure it out later. Now, over here, we can see that it has a little bit of a contour. We can very easily do that by pressing L and clicking here. So we'll be creating a sketch on the display. And oh, what's happening there? Oh, wait. Let's do this. I'm going to be coming to here, and then here, and then back here. Okay. I'm going to be pressing OK. So that's one cutout I'm going to do. I'm going to do another cutout here. So that's one line. I'm going to be doing another line here roughly. Okay. And now we're going to be doing an arc. Okay, so this is going to be center point arc. Let's do a 3-point arc. We're going to be eyeballing this. Okay, very much eyeballing this. Yeah, that looks about right. Perfect. We can also take this and adjust this. Somehow I'm not managing to do it right now, but it's fine. I don't need to adjust it. It's fine. This I can pull down to the edge of this arc. That looks like it's, ooh, careful. Okay, that looks like it's fine. And we're going to take this body by selecting the shaft, because if I just click on it, it's going to select the face, right? If I click this, it's not going to select the whole body, it's going to select the face. I want to select the whole body, which is this part. So this part, let's call it joint, joint top. And we'll call this greebly. I don't know what a greebly is, I just like the sound of a greebly. Okay, so I'm going to select the body. I'm going to be finishing the sketch, splitting the body, and as a splitting tool, I'm going to be selecting that line, holding shift, and this line. Okay, what it's going to do is going to cut out there. Press OK. Yeah. Okay, so that one and that one, I'm going to select them. So it highlighted the stuff that I want to remove, right click and remove, and that it has cut it out to a nice hollow section. What I'm noticing here is that this piece over here is a little bit too thick, so I need to fix that. Oh, okay, God, that was close up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line, actually, let's draw a line on this face over here, okay? I'm not going to be bothering with the bottom face for now. And I'm going to say this is a 5 mil, okay? I'm going to draw a line from this part to this part and this end to this end, and I'm going to select 0 degrees, okay? Because otherwise it's going to take it at an angle. I'm going to delete this because I don't need that. I'm going to take this side, I'm going to press E, and I'm going to extrude it back until it pokes through. Now what that does is, see, over here it cuts it out so that the shaft can be a little bit more visible. Okay. It takes some time getting used to the whole three-dimensional thing, so sometimes it helps just turn off the sketch. Okay. Over here there's a bit of a lip, which I don't particularly like. It's fine. What we can do there is we can chamfer the edges until it looks cool. We're just going to take this edge and this edge, chamfer. This time it's going to be equal distance, and we're going to be doing it in a way that looks cool. And actually what we can do is just press I to inspect, okay, the inspect tool, click on this edge, and this edge is 2.758, selecting that value and chamfering by, okay, pasting in that value over there, it basically chamfers equal distance. Is going to be chamfering exactly to that value. Now you may be wondering why I haven't done any work on this side. I could have just done the operation on both sides, but what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to cut this model in half and then replicate, okay, in the mirror. So I'm not worried about that. Kind of like the idea of having like a chamfer over here too. Let's see. Can we chamfer here? Would it look cool? Maybe it would look cool if this whole thing. No, what if? Okay, so if I inspect from this side to this point, 1.574. If I chamfer by that amount, oh, that looks nice. That's perfect. So I'm going to be doing the same thing over here. Chamfer by that amount. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. Okay, it's almost looking like a lightsaber. That's another project for another time. Let's chamfer these edges over here as well, and by the same. It's not going to let me chamfer. Not even by one, no. think it's something to do with these faces over here. Okay, what if I do this now? It could be because of the arc, or it could be because of that. So let's leave that as is. It's not difficult. We can always sand it down if we need to. Okay, so let's turn on the sketch again. There's one last thing we need to do over here. It looks like some sort of radiator kind of thing. And I've got some, and also we have to do the connection over here. I got just the thing for it. Out of curiosity, let's see how long the thing is. So from here to here, it's about 23.6 centimeters. It's not incredibly huge. 23.6. Well, I mean, kind of wanted it to be a little bit bigger. I guess it will have a little bit more at the front, so about 30 centimeters. Oh, that's decent, I think. If I do this, I inspect from here to here, that's about 25. How is that possible? Yeah. So we said in total it's 25, like the hammerhead. Oh yeah, that's decent, right? 25 centimeters for a hammerhead. I mean, that's bloody decent. Okay, let's carry on. We're going to be putting a rectangle on this side. Let's roughly... Wait. I think we have the wrong plane selected. Perfect. Press R for rectangle, and then select the plane. Okay, that's about right. Now I want to extrude this to the sort of thickness, I think, of the circle, and I can't do that by selecting the face of the circle. It doesn't work that way. However, I can click a point on the surface of the circle, which I know this is the apex point, and instead of cut, in this case, I'm going to select new body, because I want to work on it as a separate body for now. Okay, obviously over here you're going to see that it juts into it, and we're going to be fixing that in a second, no problem. So I think this has a little bit of a rounded corner. Oh, come on. There's a bit of a rounded corner. So we select fillet, we can fillet these parts. This seems to be like an electrical radiator kind of thing. Let's do it by 2 mil, might be a bit much. Let's do 1.5. That's a good compromise. Okay, over here. Now we have these fins to cut out, and I think the best way to do that is to do the middle one and then copy the design over, if I can remember how to do that. So I'm going to just draw a straight line on this face. Well, let's just do all of them. Select a straight line on this face and a straight line over here. Okay, just did 3 straight lines. Okay. And now I am going to draw, I think, a circle. Actually, I don't think I need to. I'm going to stop here, go to create pipe, select this tool. Okay, the tool is going to be that line over there. I'm going to select how much of this section I want to cut out. If you say 5 mil, for example, it's going to be 5 mil. I think 2.5 is more than enough over here. 2.5 looks about right. So we're going to be doing that. Okay. Did its own thing. Now I'm going to select this face and extrude it out so that I eliminate it. Okay. and I probably want to sort of round this face. Now the way I can do that is by using another function, which is selecting this face over here. Okay, this is the face of the pipe, and I'm going to be doing a create and revolve. If I managed to find, or was it under modify? I'm pretty sure it's over here. Revolve, there it is. Revolve, and I'm going to be selecting the profile. All right, selected. The axis is going to be the edge over here, and what it's going to do, I can choose how much I want it to revolve. So if I want to revolve it, for example, just 45 degrees, it's going to revolve it forward by 45 degrees and have a nice slant. But in our case, we want to do a 360 to make sure that it is cut out. It's going to cut out a spherical edge to it, and I think that's a really neat tool to have in a 3D modeler's arsenal. Next, we're going to be extending this. Okay, now we're going to be doing the same thing. Basically, create a line on this face. I'm going to select, I'm going to try and select like the center of this. I'm going to try and select the center. Come on. Oh, come on. Sorry, I apologize about this. It's just, well, it created a line over there, but I don't want that to be over there. I'm going to try and move it forward over here. It didn't move. So what if I take the points and move them? I can't either. Okay, so now let's redo the thing. So if we take a line, oh, from where is the sketch? From this point. And take it down 90 degrees to the bottom over there. Now that is not going to be like, that's not at the edge over here, but we can fix that by basically creating a new pipe. Okay, so finish sketch, create pipe, do the same thing, but instead of cut we do new body. Okay, and what that does, it created a new body. Hide this. It created a new body which goes over there. See, now I want this to be moved. I want to move that to actually I can use a very simple tool. It's called an align tool. Can go to modify, align, select the center, okay, of that face and align it. Okay, my bad. Oh, can probably still do this. Align. This face, no. So if I align this face with this, of course it's already there. It doesn't matter. Let's move this. Let's move the whole body over here. Just going to be eyeballing it again. Shouldn't be difficult. I mean, yeah, that looks about right. Okay. We're going to be removing. Now I'm going to combine, and instead of join, we're going to be doing a cut, taking the first one and the second one, selecting those. It's going to do this edge. Now this is a little bit of a sharp edge. I don't like it much over here. What I could probably do, let's see if I fill it this. Let's see if we can. Oh, this is just shoddy workmanship, I think. It's just shoddy. Or does it work? By 2.5. 2.5. Let's see how it looks. The edges sort of pucker in slightly. No, I don't like that. So we're going to be going back to our first pipe, okay? The first pipe was this one, the first cutout we did. And we're going to be going, we're going to remove everything after the history, okay, which we did. Go one step further back and we're going to go on this sketch that we did over here. Now, we're going to be extending the sketch, okay, further. Come on, okay. I'm going to be extending the sketch further by... Oh. Let's... Wait, is it on which face is it? Oh, it's going down. Is it going down? Yes, it is going down. Okay, we'll get to it in a second, but first I need to extend this line by, I think, is it going on this line? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out, because sometimes even I get confused in like 3-dimensional space. I kind of get confused of where it is, where it seems to be going on this plane, right? So, but actually I think it is on the blue plane. See, yeah, it went up. It's fine. Let's just delete that. I'm going to be taking this, drawing another line. Set it to 90 degrees. Okay, now it is on the face we want it to. Okay, so basically we're going to extend it at a 180 degrees, so it's logged in a straight line. I'm going to go further till here. Okay, now we're going to go down. I'm going to press OK. I'm going to go from here. Actually, I'm going to go from here. Okay, now it seems to be at 90 degrees over here. Okay, so we don't want a 90 degree over there. Maybe we want no, what am I doing? No, it's still stuck on the same plane. It doesn't matter. Let's leave that there. Finish sketch. I still need to see the sketch down. So I'm going to go here, press L, and draw a line down by 90 degrees, which goes down to, yeah, it's drawing on this face. Perfect. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's go there. All right, back on track. So we're going to be doing the pipe thingy now by doing this, but we're going to be selecting the tool here. Okay. Why didn't it work? It's okay. I think we can do a pipe on this one as well. Let's just do a pipe on this one. Create pipe. Path is this. Ah, that's the problem. See, I created it too far out. Yeah, that figures. So basically this is actually good. If we go to select this needs, oh come on, why can't we move it? Sometimes these sketches just don't. Okay, so this wants to move, fine. So let's move this. Of course, I'm not selecting the right sketch. If I select this and move it inwards, to the surface, aha. Okay, let's zoom out, and now we finally, oh, it still doesn't look so nice because obviously it's not an arc. These little things, you kind of get used to them. They're not very interesting to do, and they're like the difficult part of 3D modeling, like trying to wrap your head around everything. So I'm going to have to do a nice arc, or just leave it as is. Just leave it. Sometimes you need to know when to fold, right? I'm going to be undoing all my work until I get back to here. Okay, this is the stuff this is where we were earlier before we took the tangent, and that is fine. It probably won't show up on the 3D printer anyway. Okay, so we need to replicate these faces. So we're going to be doing create pattern. Okay, pattern. It's going to be a pattern on a path. And the pattern is going to be a selection of faces. We're going to be holding down shift, selecting these faces, going to be selecting the path, which is going to be this over here. All right. Now distance is going to be, I don't know how far we want the distance to be, but basically we can just eyeball it over here. Okay, I'm just going to have it somewhat there. It's like 17, let's say 18 mil, just to have a nice round number. Press OK, wait for it to work, and there we go, we have done that. Now there seems to be some sort of screw there or widget. Probably I'll drill a hole there and put an actual screw in, give it a little bit of authenticity, but I think that is looking fine so far. Okay, so a few steps left. Now I'm going to turn off the sketch over here, and we're going to be dealing with these things because this and this need to be combined. So we're going to select both of them, combine, select join, press OK. Now this is one, okay, one greebly, and basically I need to get rid of this. So I'm going to select the greebly. I'm going to split body, and as a splitting tool I'm going to select the inner circle of it. It's going to cut it around there. Okay, basically this inner part we can remove, and we have a nice clean hole over there. Should we remove this? We can see it's nice and clean. Now we're almost done. Let us do the top joint, then we're going to be splitting it in half and we'll be done. So how's it going, everyone? Talk to me. What have you been up to recently? I know what we could do. Over here we can also chamfer this slightly, like with a 2 mil or even a 1. Let's do a 2 mil chamfer. Got any good comics recently, Jason? Okay. And I think I want to have fighting with waistbands and pockets. Are you making your next video, Melissa? Okay, so basically what I did, I created a ring over here. I'm just going to select the outline. I'm going to create another pipe over here, finish sketch, create a pipe, and this time I think we're going to be, yeah, that's fine. Let's do a 2 mil this time. I can also change the inner diameter by changing this value over here, but it's fine for me now. Okay, now I'm going to take this body, I'm going to move it further in, right about here. Okay, press OK, and then I'm going to combine these two bodies by selecting cut. Okay, and it will create a nice detail in there, which will take some weathering very nicely. I can also chamfer it further, but I think that's fine. Yeah. Filming it, or at least try to. Your first two videos are really cool. I really encourage people to actually have a look at them. Now here comes the tricky part, we need to have these two faces sort of merging with the center shaft in a sort of curved manner. Now this curve isn't a problem, and I think I would like to move everything back, so I'm going to take the joint top and the greebly and move them slightly. Actually, I think that's a little bit too much. Oh no, not rotate, just I think that's about perfect. Now this, if it were flat, perfect, we wouldn't have any problem with that. But the thing is this, that these joints over here are sort of, they go around, they go all around, okay? So they go all around. I think we're going to be using the same pipe function, but we're going to be working on another. Okay, so let's do a rectangle. We're going to be doing a rectangle on the plane, which is like the middle part, okay? We're going to be selecting the parts where we want our rectangle. Okay, first we need to define the width. So we press inspect this face to this face. The distance is of 9 point, this one, the minimum distance. Minimum distance is the shortest distance between the two faces. Obviously it's going to be from the circumference of the circle to the face, or it can take it from the center to the face. It's going to be 9.43494. So if we go back onto our sketch, press a rectangle, select this part as the corner, okay, and as a thickness value, set up 9.494, and then go down to this part over here. Okay, we do finish sketch. Actually, you know what, let's undo that. Let's change that to a straight 10 mil, and we will move everything. It's fine, it's not going to be a problem. We'll move everything. Now this is down there at the bottom. We're going to need to extrude it by this much as a new body. This much actually by 10, because we said that we're going to use a 10 mil. 10 mil. Okay. 10 mil, however, divided by 2, so we're going to be using a 5 mil, because it's going to be duplicated on the other side. Okay. It's still not a perfect joint, but we'll make it perfect. It's fine when we're done with it. Now I am going to take I'm going to make, I think, either a chamfer or a pipe. I think a chamfer, or a fillet rather. So we need to take this point, this. Okay, so let's try a fillet first. Oh no, let's try a fillet again. We'll be filleting this side, and this side, but it's going to be an inverse. So we do -1. No. There was a way to do it. Setback, right? Setback? No. It's not a setback. What was it? There was a way to do it the other way around. No. Okay, let's do it the way I know. So we're going to be doing a pipe again. Where is it? Pipe. We're going to be selecting the vertical piece over here, okay? And we're going to be increasing it the size of 20, because this is the diameter of the circle. It's going to be a 20. Perfect. Now we're going to take this and P to create a pipe of 20. This is going to be incredibly tiny though. It's not gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. So maybe we do need this to be another 5. Okay, everything is getting in the way. So let us remove the back, the front, and the joint in the top. Otherwise, the commands that we do on this one are going to affect everything else. So let's do a pipe here first. Let's do a pipe. Can we do an ellipse? We have to draw the ellipse first. Okay, so let's draw a sketch on this face. Now if we go on this face, I can draw the contour of what I want, right? So how stupid of me. You know what I could have done? I can basically draw a line, right? So from here go up another 5 centimeters, 5 mil, sorry, 5 mil, and from here draw an arc, 3-point arc. I think this will do just fine. Yeah. Oh, this is perfect. Perfect. And if I do this and extrude it to the back, see, now I have this. Now to do the wraparound, we'll be doing the thing in reverse. Okay, we're going to be going underneath the model. I'm going to be creating a line over here. Okay, we're just sketching on the bottom of this. We'll take a 5 mil chunk over there and let's see how, and take the arc from there to there. Let's do an, no, not appearance, I need the arc. Okay. Come on. This is sketch 22. So this is, wait, what am I looking at? That is the one that, this one I need to edit. Edit sketch. Okay, where did you put me? Okay, I'm on the bottom. Perfect, okay. Bottom. And I'm going to create an arc. 3-point arc. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do, no, it has to be the other way around. This has to be over on this side. Let's do it again. If I take a 5 mil over here, do an arc. Perfect. Am I doing something wrong? I'm doing something wrong, aren't I? This arc needs to be the reverse. This arc needs to be in reverse. So if I do an arc, it has to come out of here. Yeah, if I do an arc. There we go. Okay, extrude this, -100. Perfect, that is what we were looking for. Finally. Okay, looks about right, doesn't it? Maybe let's maybe push this face a little bit back. We can't push it back, it's fine. Okay, let's create another sketch from this part here. Basically what we are doing is just creating like a smaller sketch. Okay. Wait, on which face is it? At this point I'm just messing things up. Let's go to the top over here. We just need to take this down. Let's move this. Move to here. That is like around the right place to have it. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to be taking the center point again. For some reason it's okay. Take the center point by pressing I for inspect, taking that value, which is 66.773. Draw a line on this plane, starting from here, taking it down to here, divided by 2, and then take another line from this point here at a 0 degree angle. Okay, delete this line, split the body using this tool. Okay, we remove this part. Basically that is half of what we need, right? So we take this part and we do create and mirror. Okay, we're going to be mirroring the body, okay, using this mirror plane, using this face as a mirror plane. We press OK. Should have joined them together as well, and this is going to be the sort of the gusset join. As you can see, it is perfectly mirrored. Now we need to do one last thing. We need to do it on the other side as well, but we'll get to it in a second. If we take, everything's fine. Okay, if we take degree, we make it visible. The joint at the top, make it visible. The back and the cheeks. Okay, you can see that this goes into it and is not perfect. So what we can do there, very easily, I might add, is align both faces. Let's take the back and move it by pressing M or clicking the move. Okay, let's move it far out over here. Going to select the align tool, going to select the face anywhere, not any of these points, and then selecting the face over here and pressing OK. Now that has aligned it with that part over there. The next thing we need to do is extend the face of this joint. It's very tiny, it's not going to show, but we need to extend it into this piece until we can, let's do a cut so we can see where it's cutting into. I don't want it to go so far in, but it wouldn't be a problem if it did either. Let's put them by, press join, okay. So now it joined them together. Perfect. Actually, before we do the join function, let us do the new body. Okay, we'll take this body and these and combine them. Basically, what we're going to be doing is taking this part and mirroring it again by create mirror, but instead of but as a mirror plane, we're going to be selecting the plane down the middle, which is going okay, the plane down the middle. Okay, we just mirrored it, we didn't do anything else. Now I just need to make sure that there's a 1 centimeter gap in between these two, so I'm going to select I to inspect this face and this face, and the minimum distance is 11 mils, so I need to move it slightly bit closer. So in this case I am going to move the cheeks and move it, clicking on this arrow, moving it by 1 mil. Okay, so now the distance is set properly. I'm going to take this body over here and move it all the way back here, just so I can easily access it. Again, I'm going to align. Okay, selecting the face. No. Again, align face and this face. It's going to align them like that, and I'm going to take everything. Okay, take the cheeks, the back, the joint at the top, the body, and the body. Okay, actually I think I would like them to be a little bit further down, so I'm going to take the cheeks and the back, the body and the body, press M, move them down. Here looks about right. Perfect. I'm going to select everything except the greebly. Okay, and I'm going to join everything together. Okay, I'm going to do the split body function again to hollow out. Actually, I can just If I turn this off and I turn this, I can select these faces now. They're individual faces, okay? If I press those two, press E to extrude and click on the face at the back, I'm going to extrude them to the very far back, okay? So I have that part, I have this part, I have this part, so everything looks fine. Let's get the greebly here. Let's finish working on this part. I think I want to have some chamfers over here. Let's do 5 mil is a bit too much. 3 mil chamfer looks just right over here. Let's do a 3 mil chamfer over here as well to mirror it. Okay. I think that looks okay. Don't you think? Do we need to see if we can do this as well? Do we need to chamfer by 3? Don't think it will let us. Oh, it will. Maybe 2 over here. No, let's leave it as it is. I think it's a nice aesthetic to have. Everything has everything. Now this part we need to extend until it just about joins over there, making sure that it's still completely hollow. It is. Now we're going to be doing the last. Hey there. Okay. Let's take this, split the bodies. Let's split this body and using this splitting tool. Okay. We'll take the greebly as well. We're going to be splitting it using this plane, the half that we did. And now what this did, it has isolated the two halves that we do not want. If we remove them, you will see we have a perfect half of what we have designed. Now I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing here. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't think I like the skull over here. Besides, the skull is a little bit too difficult to make. What does the skull look like? It's not. No. But over here there's like this ribbon thing. I don't like having the ribbon there. Maybe we can put like an omega here. Let's see, create a sketch on this plane. If we put text in here, I'll just put the text over here. And as a sample text, see, omega alt code. So alt 2, 3, 4. Oh no, it doesn't work. Maybe alt. No, that's not the right character I want. Basically, I'm looking up online what the alt code for omega is. Alt 937. No. No, apparently it's not working. Maybe 969. No. 974. No. Hey, I can just copy it. Oh, yeah. I could have just copied it from online. Didn't need to look up. Didn't need to look up the alt code for it. Oh god. Okay, so the height, let's say height, let's set it to 51. That's a little bit too big. So maybe 25. Yeah, it's not quite a long day as much as a long week. At least like this week is going to be a shorter one for us. Wednesday and Friday are holidays. So we did the character of Omega over here. Omega is one of the letters is very prominently displayed on ultramarines, right? And probably this is going to be an ultramarine themed hammer. We're going to select this extruded by this distance, which is going to be 5 mil. Actually, we can just extrude it to 2. 2 is fine. We're going to take this and move it, place it over here. We're going to eyeball it around the middle, like somewhere over here. Okay, I think that is a little bit too small, so maybe we can modify and scale it. What if we scale it? I think that is fine. Let's move it again. If we select the square, we're moving it along the plane, okay? That is cool, but now it is a little bit too far up. It doesn't make sense for it to be here, so I'm going to align it. Okay. Align by selecting this face and selecting this face. Squishes them together. And that's looking nice. Maybe putting it about here. That is an option. What do you guys think? Do you like the Omega over it? What if we look up Omega Ultramarines? Oh wait, it's upside down, right? It's not an Omega, it's a U. I almost made a mistake. So basically, I'm going to move it, but instead of moving it around, I'm just going to flip it upside down. Okay, and just move it in its right place. That's much better. Ultramar, the U of Ultramar. I'm actually quite proud of that. Not of my mistake, but of thinking about it. That's actually pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing. Okay, so I'm going to just take the cheeks. I'm going to call it the head. Now the hammerhead. Take this and combine it together to create one body. Now here's where the magic happens. We're going to be taking these and we're going to be creating a mirror of them. These two bodies, selecting the mirror plane on this side. I'm going to be joining them. And now we have created a 3D version, a perfectly symmetrical hammerhead and greebly for the thunder hammer of the Space Marines. And see, even I think these parts may be a little bit too thin. I think I would rather extend them a bit further out. But we can make that work. It's fine. We can just go back. Okay. And make the sketch larger on one side than the other. We might have to just redo that whole thing. I think I'm just going to have to redo this part because I think that is too thin. That needs to be stockier. That needs to be thicker. Definitely. So, the way we would do that is by rolling back. I think somewhere around here it was. Yeah, this is the half that we're working on. This is the stuff that we mirrored before we merged everything together. Now what we are going to do is... Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this face, move it up by, say I want to take it by 1 centimeter, so actually by 2 centimeters, yeah. Let's do that. Now I'm going to extrude this by 10. And it's joining here, but let's hide that so it doesn't join to it. Now get it back here. Let's see how this works, because I think it's going to create some errors if we go to the end of the process. Yeah, see, it created this thing over here, and but it's fine. We can fix that. What we can do is probably if we extend to this piece over here, is going to extend to here. Okay, fine, we can just join them together. We'll do the same thing with it earlier. It's fine, just hide this, select this, and extrude this part to the very back until we want it. Right, it's like somewhere around here. Yeah, that's enough. That's perfect. Okay, and we cleared out the middle sections where we hollowed. We hollowed it out over there, and that looks a lot chunkier, a lot beefier. That looks like a proper thunder hammer. Max Black. I never made you know how to make a keyboard because I only know how to make things with a picture behind it. Hey Max Black. What do you mean with like cube objects? Because basically, if you're using like the picture behind it, like the if you go back in the live stream and you see what I did, I started off by using this thing. But the techniques that I use, like the sketching and the extrusion, don't need to have the canvas behind them really. It's there just to give me a reference. Okay, I could have just as easily done this with a little bit more difficulty really, using these tools, using the same functions that I did. Now what I'm going to be doing is probably go back and chamfering like all the edges. I don't like having sharp edges on my props. That's always going to be an issue at Comic Con, you know. Yeah, this is the edge that we had earlier. Okay, let's extend it further. We can just cut it out in a second. Ah, see, perfect. Came to a point. Now let us chamfer everything. Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you so much. Before we go to let's just go over. Let's split it one more time because I would like to chamfer a lot of these edges, and it's easier to just do them on half. Okay, as a splitting tool I'm going to use this. Take the bottom part and remove. Okay, the inner parts probably can remain non-chamfered. Because I don't think anyone can hit against them, but I think I'd rather have these like this and this, just a very soft chamfer, like a 1 mil or maybe a 2 mil. It also gives it some depth and detail as well. See? Ooh, even here it connects quite nicely. I don't think I like it there though, on the front, because I forgot I have on this part, right? Okay, what if I don't chamfer the front? Let's chamfer there. This point. I always click somewhere else by mistake. Come on. What if I chamfer this by 2? Okay. And we will chamfer this by 1. I don't think that's going to really show up on the printer, but it's there and I think it looks awesome anyway. Alrighty, so we take this again and mirror it like we've done before. Mirror it on this plane, join them, and they're done. Yeah, I think we can call this a day. Just a little few things that I still need to do. But basically, if I mean, like these little rings, they're just strings. So I'm just going to make a circle and just make them there and then and print them very quickly. But I think this was quite an interesting few hours, I think. So let's have a look at the chat. I use pictures to find the width and height. yeah, I mean, sometimes if you need to take reference of pictures for proportions, that's not a bad thing to do. This is in fact what I did here. Of course, I took some dimensions and then ran with them, so I did my own thing in them. But other than that, it's fine. Now, with regards to actual freehanding shapes, I am more of a geometric 3D modeler rather than a very organic one. I not quite used to working with meshes to create like the very spherical objects and like curves and that sort of thing, very organic shapes. I'm not very good at that, so I'm going to have to work on that as well. Can you make a time lapse of the actual print? I can definitely do so. I have a GoPro, I can set it up and I can take a time lapse of the print. I don't know exactly how I'm going to split this up for printing, but I'm going to sort it out off camera later on. So yes, definitely. So Max, the answer to your question is, I think practice is the best thing you can do to get the proportions right. But there's no harm in using pictures to get the proportions right until you get used to it. Something like this, which is a one-off thing, I am much more comfortable using a canvas behind it, as I've done over here, to get the proportions right, and then you know, adjust as I need. And Demon Duck, Nick, time lapse definitely. I'll hook up a GoPro and make a time lapse of this. It's going to be split into multiple pieces, so even the head I'm going to split it up, and I'm going to see how I'm going to split it up later on. Jason, how long will something that size take to print? I don't even think this fits on my printer. Let's see if I make, let's take the Greebly. Let's see if it opens it with Cura. Probably won't. I don't think the associations are set up correctly. What if I open Cura? Cura is the slicing software that we would use for 3D printing. Basically, this is a 3D model, but then Cura is the slicing software which converts this 3D model into Cartesian coordinates, which is XYZ coordinates, where the printer needs to deposit the material. And maybe I'll do a brief video on what 3D printing actually is, although I would be very surprised if people don't know by this time, as in how it works, but I can definitely do so. So, Cura. Will it work now if I have Cura open? No. No, let me see if I can quickly export the Greebly. Okay, let's do Greebly and let's export this. Okay. Will I do this? I'm going to open both of them. Open file. So this is the Greebly. Okay, so this is what the slicer software looks like. This is what Cura looks like. Now, I don't think this is the configuration I would print it in, because this would require an enormous amount of supports. It will require supports nonetheless, so there's really no easy way to print this. I would avoid printing it on a circular side, because that would mean, or having supports on the circular side, because that would mean a lot of sanding, and the flat side definitely. So probably I would actually print it upside down like this. Probably, if not split. Probably I'd split it down the middle and just put two halves together. But as an example, if I wanted to print this in a 0.3 and let's say a 10% infill with supports everywhere, because I want to have these structures supported, like this part over here needs to be supported, otherwise it won't print properly. If I were to slice, it will give me an estimate of how much material and time it would take. Something like this would take about 2.5 hours maybe to print. The infill pattern is a gyroid, so if I go in preview, this is pretty cool actually, I quite like this. This shows me layer by layer what it looks like. This is the last layer, see? I was going to print it. Now if I go down, you're going to see the infill. Alright, I think somewhere I can change the color of the infill so you can actually see color scheme. Extruder, helpers. Helpers are the support structures, right? The infill over here, see? This is the infill. that's a gyroid, so it will have like this wavy pattern, which will support the inside. That takes longer to print, but it's much sturdier this way. You can have like concentric, for example, which is a different kind of infill, like a different type of infill. See, it just has a lot of hollow spaces and I don't like it, but it cuts down time by a lot, right? An hour 50 minutes. I prefer the gyroid for my prints, which require a little bit of toughness and durability. So something like this would take about 3 hours to print. I don't think the head itself, I think this is how it would build up. Okay, now if I delete this, go back to prepare and load up the hammerhead. See, the hammerhead doesn't even fit on my printer. Okay, so not even if I arrange models. Center selected. See, it's just too big. It would probably fit if I sort of play around with it. Something like this, perhaps. There, see, something like this would fit. I can print it in one go, but this would be ridiculous to print. Yeah, it's too chunky. This would be ridiculous to print. The supports alone are just huge in terms of well, I mean, support material actually is not a lot. Actually, I might actually print it this way. That's out of curiosity. You're going to use the same parameters. Holy crap, I think this is actually going to work this way. It really doesn't have a lot of support, like just over here. The red parts are where the supports go. Obviously under the lightning, and these overhangs over here. But it would take 14 hours and 20 minutes to print all of it. And I'm hoping I have a reel of material which I can use. That's a long time. If we press preview, we can actually see where the supports are going. See? Yeah, 14 hours to make something like this. And mind you, this is on the 0.3 mil. If I wanted to print it on very fine, like 0.15 of a mil or 0.06 of a mil, take easily 4 times as much or even longer than that. Out of curiosity, let's have a look. If I wanted to make like the best possible actually what I need to change is this, have it as a brim to make sure it doesn't come off. If I wanted to have like the best possible finish on it, I would go for the extra fine 0.06 mil. Like, it would avoid a lot of sanding though. That would be a good thing. It's taking so long because there's so many more layers now. Before, a layer used to be like a 0.3 mil. Now obviously it's going to be a lot more. I wouldn't be surprised if it were 3 days. I've had prints like that. I've done prints like that where I've had like, I think it was either the Doctor Doom mask. Oh, Doctor Doom is over there. Let me help you with the camera. Doctor Doom and the Death mask from Darksiders. Those are printed in halves, and I think every half was like 12 hours each. You might actually appreciate that, Jay. Doctor Doom's mask. Yeah. Come on. 3 days and 6 hours. If I were to print it on the finest settings. Yeah, 3 days and 6 hours is just ridiculous. But I think I might actually go for 14 hours because it's processing like layer 99%. It's ridiculous how many more layers it has. This is like the infill I was telling you about, right? No, let's do it on extra fast. But we're going to keep the changes. Basically, when I click keep changes, changes all the things that I changed in it, right? Obviously. But it will keep on its own parameters, so. The stuff that comes, like, it's going to change. It's not going to change the stuff that I changed only. took me quite a while to get that. So it's slicing now. It should be back to 14 hours and a half. Yeah. I wonder if I should set it up and print it soon, either tomorrow or this week. I might actually print it on Tuesday. I'll be working from home, so I can keep an eye on it just in case it fails. And I'll do a time lapse. I have my GoPro handy. I have it here. I've used it in the past for this sort of thing. I'm actually going to leave it out so I don't forget. I've seen so many cool builds. Like someone put a GoPro clamped to his bed over here. So basically when they are printing, it's always in relation to the bed. I've seen people who program their printer and their G-code to sort of the head, the printer head, the extruder always goes back to a certain position after a layer so that the camera can snap a picture. So it looks like it's building up on its own. Some really cool effects. So I think that's about wraps this session up. I might actually, yeah. And one last cool feature that we can have a look at together is by pressing the play button down here. And this will take us through the whole process, all the steps that we did, and changing, like it's like a small time lapse on a step-by-step basis, basically. And I like to have a look at this because I kind of spot where I wasted time, where I did wrong, etc, etc. But yeah. Cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit lengthy and maybe perhaps it wasn't as interesting as some of the other things that I've done. This sort of thing takes a little bit of finesse and sort of know-how to sort of get the hang of. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. So yeah, this was very interesting to make. And one last, promise is the last thing that I'm going to do over here. I can take these, I can right click, go on physical material. I can select metal. Obviously I'm not going to be using metal for this. I'm going to be printing it in plastic and painting it. But let's say, for example, shiny, I don't know, let's say iron. For example, you can just drag and drop iron. And now it will reflect as if it were iron. I can go, for example, for gold. For example, see? And change it. But yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. You can also change the appearance. And you it's just the texture that changes. If I press A, wait. Never mind. Let's do this. And leave it as it is. Thank you very much for joining. I mean, I really can't wait to make this thing happen now. I might go back and edit a little bit of things. Maybe create a much thinner sleeve and just have this part 3D modeled as well. Sort of it goes into it, but I'll do that off camera. But I'm very happy with what we did over here. Very happy indeed. So yeah, that's it. I think that that works just fine. Yeah, Warhammer, too much swag. Well, no expense was spared in the killing of, I don't know, Xenos heretics and Chaos Warriors. So, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for joining me for this live stream. It was surprisingly a lot of fun. I thought it would be less so. I'll have one last look at the chat just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But I don't think that I have. So, yeah. So, again, thank you very much for joining me for this chat. Remember to go check out Apis Aurea Atelier. She's in the chat right now. So, if you click on her name, you can actually go to her channel and subscribe. Show her some love. She's a really talented seamstress, and she's going to be making some videos as well. And don't forget to go over to Facebook and join Jay's comics group. It's there. There's all sorts of interesting things about comics. Of course, these are not sponsored messages. They're just my friends, and I would really like and appreciate if you were to, show them some love as well. So, thank you very much for the compliments and for joining me. And remember, you can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook page, Corso Workshop, and the Instagram, the same name. And if you'd like to show some support, please click the subscribe button, hit the like under this video, and maybe have a look at some of my other videos. If you'd like to go the extra mile, you can always hop on Patreon, and basically you'll get some perks and benefits over there. So, I don't have much else to add. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this Sunday evening. I hope that you have a great week ahead, and that you stay tuned for more projects and live streams to come. Again, this is not going to be the only thing that I do on the channel. Live streams aren't the only thing that I'm going to be doing. I'll be doing videos as well. In fact, next Wednesday I have a recording session planned, so hopefully that will kick off again soon. So, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a pleasant evening, and I'll see you around. Take care. Oh, and keep making stuff.